host of amazing musicians on this thing are Jeff Beck, Eric Clapton, Mike McCready, Zach Wilde, Tony Iommi, Duff McKagan, Chad Smith, Robert Trujillo, Taylor Hawkins. It is a veritable who's who working with Ozzy on this record. And Mr. Mundy and I are going to break this down and let you know if it was truly worth it. Did it come through the way we would think it would? We're also going to talk a little bit about Beauty and Chaos and their latest documentary that aired just a couple days ago. It's really good if you haven't seen that. And we're going to do a quick Stump Mr. Mundy. And we're going to talk about Sandman, number 16, and probably dabble a little bit in She-Hulk and my new favorite character, Madison, with a Y, but who knows where that is. So anyway, I'm Foggy, your host, and joining me, as always, is Metalhead Mundy.
Step inside into his mind. It's boy band time. It's
Metalhead Mundy.
Hey.
I just hope that I can live up to trying to be the Wongers to your Madison.
Wongers, you're the man. You know, I wonder every time we show that opening, do you think the people know which one is Metalhead Mundy?
I don't know.
Maybe they think it's that really
Hard to
good-looking
tell.
guy on the left.
I blend in so well.
Oh, for sure. And hey, folks, lots of new followers on Apple and lots of people checking us out on SoundCloud. And so I wanted to thank you for that. Please, if you're watching, comment. Send us some stuff as we're doing the show. And again, if you like what you hear, like what you see, please subscribe, leave us a comment, because we know we can get better. We'd like to do that. And feel free to share it with your friends.
Yeah, I think every podcast I listen to, they talk about the rate and review, how that helps. So, throw us some of that business. And we appreciate anybody that stops by our little neck of the woods. And we definitely want to hear from you, what you like, what you don't like. May not change what we do, but we still want to hear it,
And
feedback.
Again, it might change what we do. We might go, dang, they're right. We're losers. And
I don't know.
Yeah, probably not. Oh, anyway. Okay, we're just going to get it out of the way because we've already mentioned Wongers and Madison. But episode 4 of She-Hulk was absolutely hysterical. And I put this on Twitter. I put it on Facebook. Madison needs to be the new Marvel cameo. She needs to pop up in every movie somewhere. Huge fan.
Yeah, that would be great. I really I cannot look at Wong now without thinking Wongers. It's I just wow.
Or sitting around watching TV with Madison, which cracks me up. So,
I mean, he's got to burn through the Sopranos, or she's gonna spoil them all.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Like the first time she popped up during the magic show, she was kind of like, oh, okay, whatever. But then as she kept reappearing, the courtroom scene was just brilliant, and then every scene with Wong was amazing.
I think her and Wong might be our next great love story. I don't know.
I think you might be right. They're gonna be the next Rocket and Groot. Anyway, if you guys aren't watching She-Hulk, you really need to do it. It's just like a great little sitcom. It doesn't take itself seriously, and it is a lot of fun.
It really is. And I mean, like I said, I think I said it before, coming out of Moon Knight, which was just so dark. There was a little bit of humor, but it was just so dark. And, then Ms. Marvel obviously skews younger, but it was really great. And this is just like a flat out sitcom, and it's really cool to see Marvel. I mean, kind of sticking their toe in everything, and they're doing it all really well so far. So I'm really loving this little batch of the Disney Plus shows.
Yeah, there's truly something for everybody, and they just do everything so well, which is just surprising. Kevin Feige needs to get a lot of kudos for what he has put together.
Yeah. Bringing the right talent to the right projects, I think.
Yeah, and casting is point on. So, all right. Well, anyway, that was it for She-Hulk. Now we have to get down to real important musical stuff. Do you want to get stumped first?
I mean, sure.
We never stump you, son of a biscuit. I really should just make this so incredibly difficult you never would get it. But that wouldn't be fair. That would be against the spirit of breaking you.
It really wouldn't be that difficult to do.
Well,
I mean,
I'd have to go outside your wheelhouse, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was getting ready to say, if you just throw a band that I don't care about or whatever, then that wouldn't be that hard.
All right. Well, here it is. The challenge inspired by the great Lester Bangs. I'm going to read some comments from a review, and Mr. Mundy is going to select the musical group or album that it's talking about. And so for this one, this is a debut album. All right. The band gained worldwide fame for their second and third album, but this is kind of a favorite among a lot of fans. So we'll see what you think here. You ready?
Okay.
This is actually a comment by a member of the band. Like, what if I took the lyricism of Bob Dylan and combined it with the riffs of Black Sabbath, then the atmosphere of Love and Rockets? Can I put these things together? So I just kind of built my own world to where I had enough information and enough of a logic system that I started from a point of, I don't want to do anything that anyone else is doing. And it's only going to work for me if I go down this path. And that is a direct quote from the lead singer of this group in their first record.
Is he... You don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but is he just a singer?
No.
Okay.
Oh, I think we have a comment. I already love this man.
Yeah.
Guarantee that's my daughter because
yes,
he mentioned Bob Dylan. So
yeah, as soon as I saw it, I knew that was sis. So,
Let's see if she can figure out who I'm talking about.
Wow. So say it again. The lyrics of Bob Dylan.
Yeah, the lyrics of Bob Dylan, the riffs of Black Sabbath. And the atmosphere of Love and Rockets.
Woof.
Second, third album. Atmospheric Heights. They just took off. But the first one really is a fan fave.
Smashing Pumpkins.
Boom! Nailed it. Yeah. I thought that would be the only thing that would help narrow you in. You can see the points when he talks about heavy riffs, especially on the first record, and then the atmosphere, you kind of get it. But when the second and third album was the helper, I think.
Yeah. All of that makes sense. But yes, that is all of that with that tidbit of the, second, third album. That kind of tips it. Yeah. Yeah. Huh. All right.
Damn it. He got us again.
That's a good one.
Okay, I'm going to do one for John Denver next week. See if you get that. Oh, I just told you.
Yeah.
My daughter would be commenting on that for sure.
I would say she'd probably give it away.
Oh, we'll get one of these weeks. We're going to have a real challenge again. Hopefully Teabags be on next week so we can do our lyric challenge. That'll be exciting. So until then, we're going to talk about Beauty and Chaos, our good friends.
All right.
Yes, they just had a new documentary called Unveiled. If you are interested in that, there it is. You can find that at jammer.direct/unveiled. It's basically breaks down the latest record, the one that they did with all female singers, and it kind of highlights each singer and talks about the behind the scenes, and it's really cool.
It was, yeah. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I didn't understand when they first rolled out like the ads and stuff for it, or the not ads, but posts and what. I wasn't sure exactly where to get it. I've never heard of this Jammer thing, but
I think it's part of Jammerzine, which does a lot of reporting of Beauty and Chaos stuff. They do a really nice job. Their articles are great, and they're very supportive of Michael and what he's doing.
There you go. Yeah, it's just something that I hadn't seen before. So, but that makes sense. Like if they produce it and if they cover them a lot, then yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it's a simple link. You just go there and it takes you right to it, and you hit play and you're going. So, and it's like a little, I mean, it's just under 40 minutes, quick little doc. And yeah, like you said, they dive deep into each track and talk to each of it's 6, right? Each of the 6 vocalists, and they kind of talk about where their lyrics came from, and all of them kind of say what a genius and a wonderful guy Michael Ciravolo is. So that was funny. But I'm sure
you don't think he paid him, did you?
Yeah, I'm sure he hated that. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, if you like Beauty and Chaos, which obviously we do, and that EP was fantastic. I mean, all of those vocalists are crazy talented. So, and we've had 2 of them on the show. So actually 3 counting Tish. 3 counting Tish. But yeah. So this is obviously friends of the show, but it was very cool.
Yeah, I think we kind of laugh about the calling him a genius and everything, but I think his true genius is he's a great guitar player, clearly, and he runs a company and all that, but his genius seems to be in selecting the right people for the songs that they sing, because he always has somebody excellent doing the work.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's obviously made a lot of connections and relationships over the years, and also he's kind of in a position, I mean, being the president of Schecter Guitars will never hurt, your chances of somebody saying yes if you reach out to ask him to do something for you. So there's that. But yeah, he's, he seems to put the right pieces together with these songs. And I mean, on all of his projects, even the remixes, people he chooses to, manipulate his songs into something new. It's pretty outstanding. There you go.
Try to show that without the light. My light system is less than fantastic, but there it is. That's the record, Behind the Veil. And so Unveiled is the clever title for the documentary. And so
I feel like we should also say, full disclosure, we actually got a shout out in the credits, which does not suck. So that was pretty awesome. You sent me the screen grab of it, and then I watched it, and I was like, holy crap, there it is. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a liner inside of all the ladies. You got Tish, his wife, singing on Afterlife, which I absolutely love. I think lyrically it's stunning. And then Elena Alice Fossey, Kiss of the World. Pinky Turzo on Not Your Fault, which I love that song. So good. Whitney Ty, Friend of the Shoe, on Orion. Cynthia Hussey, Open Wound Heart. She's also the wife of Wayne Hussey, who works a lot with Michael. And Betsy Martin does Grasp the Stars. She reminds me like an old school, just raw singer who just puts it all out there. Really interesting.
Watching this too, I mean, it really just kind of made me want to, I mean, it gives me more music to seek out, because, it's all of these ladies have their own projects, and it just makes me want to find all of that and check all that out.
Yeah, and I've gone back and listened to a bunch of it, and it is good. I mean, I can see why he picked them. And I think, too, I really liked the record when it came out. I really liked the songs, but it was interesting hearing from the people who sang them and wrote the lyrics just a little bit deeper. The website actually has some notes about what the songs are about, but the ladies on the documentary go in a little bit more depth, and it kind of gives you a better idea what the songs are about, and it makes them just, I think, that much more important. So, good stuff.
Yep.
So check that out. There's your link right there. We'll put it in the show notes in case, especially if you're listening, you can't see it up there, at Jammer Direct. Cool stuff. And you can also go to beautyandchaosmusic.com, and you can order all of the albums there. You can get records, you can get digital downloads. I think you can get CDs, right? Didn't you order a CD?
So,
yeah, I think so. So that's pretty awesome. And I'm trying to convince him to do a baseball cap with Beauty and Chaos on it, because right now there isn't one. So
I think T-Bag's got a mug, didn't he?
He did. He may have even bought the you get the beanie, the little sock hat, That's cool. I almost
go.
thought about it, but I'd much rather have the baseball cap, and I wanted to
Yeah.
have the one that says "Be the calm, be the storm."
Yeah.
Somewhere on the hat. I think that'd be super cool. So there you have it, everybody. Check that out. All right. So that brings us to Ozzy Osbourne. What a record. Featuring tons of talent.
Yeah.
Was there any person on here that worked with him? I mean, without just commenting directly on the record, but that just stood out as, man, that was a collaboration. That was a piece of guitar playing or whatever it is that just blew you away.
There was actually 2 songs that the combos they put together on like the band on that track. There was 2 different ones, and one of them was let me see. I gotta look at my notes here. That is Mr. Darkness is
Zakk Wylde.
Zakk Wylde, Robert Trujillo, and Taylor Hawkins.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. That was an excellent song.
And then Degradation Rules is Tony Iommi, Robert Trujillo, and Chad Smith.
And part of the influence and one of the lines was from Taylor Hawkins.
Cool.
Yeah. He gave him a lot of credit on that.
Yeah. But
so who played the harmonica on that?
Yeah. Oh, yes. That was one of my notes for that song was Ozzy's harmonica. It's like that. I mean, the first time I heard that was in The Wizard from Black Sabbath, and that's classic, absolute one of the classic harmonica lines in a heavy song. And this was not quite up there with that, but it's always cool to hear Ozzy play.
Yeah, that was cool. And then it was also in Dark Side Blues. It sounded like we had a pedal steel and harmonica as well. But that was from early 2020. So that wasn't new for this record.
Okay.
All right. Let's dig in. I will just say up front that I was not blown away by the record when these names were included. I thought I was going to be floored. I thought there were some really high points and there was a lot of middle ground for me. But I didn't hate anything.
Yeah, same. I think on my first listen through, I think I was expecting more out of it, and it just felt like this is the same production team, and it's Andrew Watt again who did the last record. And my first listen through, I mean, I wasn't really paying attention. I just had it on, and I was like, this kind of sounds like more of the same. But I mean, it's not bad, but it's not, it's not blowing me away. But it, subsequent listens, you dig in a little deeper and, read the lyrics along with it and stuff. I think it gets better with more listens. I think
it did.
There's definitely a few songs that, didn't do a lot for me, but
I kind of changed on some songs as I listened to that I didn't initially like, that I kind of came around to liking, and I probably listened 6 times.
Yeah, I think I did that too on a couple.
So I gave it a good go, which is one thing I think I like that we delayed recording a bit because I got to listen a few more times. So an album comes out on Friday, and
it's quick turnaround.
Going on. It is very quick, and you don't necessarily get to sit with it. So, let's kick it off. Let's talk about the title track. This is the album opener as well, Patient Number 9. This was one released, 2 months ago, probably
something like
a month and a half ago. So it's been a bit. It features Jeff Beck, and I like it a lot. It almost feels prog rocky a little bit, and it's longer. Got a really cool groove, and it made me like, you just kind of always question, is Ozzy going to be Ozzy? Is he going to at what point is he too old or too sick to continue? And he sounds fantastic.
Yeah,
and
go ahead. His vocals. The man is 72 years old, and his vocals, he's lost nothing. He sounds outstanding.
Agreed. I really wanted to hear him at the halftime show of the college football kickoff.
Well, you did it for like 9 seconds, right?
It's ridiculous. Yeah, and then we had to listen to these numbnuts yammer on while he's in the background, and I'm like, can we just listen to Ozzy, please? But no, they didn't.
Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't watching that. It probably would have pissed me off.
Yeah, it was frustrating because the little snippet they showed, he sounded fantastic live.
Yeah.
And it's not like all these other halftime shows where everybody's lip syncing and dancing and all that. He's actually singing. Hey, it's a musician. What do you know? So, but I dig the song a lot. It feels like it's almost a story, and very cool.
Have you seen the video?
I never did watch the video. Have you?
Yes, it's fun. It's kind of sort of a horror movie ish.
It would make sense,
theme.
like
yeah,
Arkham
it's pretty
Asylum
cool.
kind of thing.
It's pretty cool. You should check it out.
I will definitely do that. What about Immortal?
The Mike McCready-ness of it all didn't really do much for me. I mean, it's a guitar solo, I guess. It's not, didn't blow my mind. Duff's bass line is pretty killer. And the vocal melodies in this song are straight up 1980s Ozzy Osbourne. I love the vocals in this song.
This is one that I was talking about that I came back around on.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure in the beginning. And it's Mike McCready's fine. He's not the star. You're right. But the opening of this gave me a feel of Running with the Devil. Okay. Just the tone of the guitar that opened the song, maybe. There's just something there. Listen back and see if you recognize it. But that's the feel I got from him immediately. And I dug this one quite a bit. But it was a comeback arounder for me.
Yeah.
Parasite, next song, Zakk Wylde.
Yeah, this is the first time we get Zakk back in the fold. So that's cool. There's not a whole lot of crazy flashiness, just kind of Zakk being Zakk. This is also the first song on the album where we get Taylor Hawkins, and you can feel it. The drums are outstanding. The chorus on this song lost me a little bit. It's a little too much of a pop feel, I guess. I don't know. That's the only way I can think to describe it.
I dug a verse though. I think the verses were better.
Very solid riffs on I think on the verses, but then when it goes into the chorus, it's a little, I don't know. It's almost like too much of a swing. Like, I don't mind pop, when it works, but it's almost like it's too much of a swing.
Yeah. It's a little pitchy, dog.
Oh, God.
I couldn't resist. Sorry. No, I dug the in the verse the line, "A troubled little boy, murder scene made of broken toys, never had no love, never had no choice, found comfort in my sins." I thought that was pretty cool. And that does not sound poppy. You know what I mean? That lyric is good.
It's the delivery, not the lyrics. Yeah.
Yeah. No Escape From Now was one of the snoozers for me.
Okay. Well, here we get Tony Iommi. So got a little Black Sabbath reunion, mini reunion here. And it definitely had like that tuned down doom kind of doomy kind of Sabbath feel to it. But that's really about it. I mean, other than that, it didn't. The other song that Tony Iommi's on, I think, is much better.
Yeah, I don't know. I tried a couple of times. It just didn't grab me.
Yeah.
So next up is One of Those Days featuring Eric Clapton. And I dug this one quite a bit. I could see people go either way on it. Super catchy chorus. It almost has a poppier chorus as well. And I just like the sentiment of the song, in the midst of everything that's going on. It's one of those days you can't believe in Jesus because it is awful out there.
Yeah. I like a lot of the ideas in the lyrics, but this song for me, I think, was more of what you had on the last song. Like, I just wasn't really feeling it. I don't know. The Clapton of it all didn't really do a lot for me. It's, I don't know, just kind of meh.
He's not eating any bat heads on that one, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that to me sounds like it could be on a radio top 40-ish type chart.
Yeah, maybe.
So next one is 1,000 Shades featuring Jeff Beck. And I like this one.
Yeah, this is kind of I don't know, like a requisite power ballad type song.
Yeah.
Middle of the album,
Mhm.
slow it down a little bit, kind of bring him in with a little softer, gentler side, and but then he's singing like 1,000 Shades of Darkness, so it's still Ozzy.
It still is. I love the line, "The past is dead, the future's haunted. What happened to today?" So I thought that was clever lyrics. But yeah, I like that one. I didn't love it. It wasn't one that just pounded me in the head, said, "Listen to me," but it was good. And that brings us back around to My Darkness that you had spoken
Mr.
of
Darkness.
earlier. Oh, yeah, sorry. Mr. Darkness. I was away from my screen. So what'd you dig about it?
I like the dynamics of this one. Kind of when it started out, like I think the first time I heard it again, like I just had it playing and I was doing something else and it didn't really grab me. But then when you sit down and really listen to it, the dynamics are really great. The part changes, tempo changes, and like I said, this is the first one. And I was like, holy crap, the band on this song is just stupid good. So. And
It
this
kind
is
of feels like, I think you're exactly right. Some of those other songs before could have been anybody. I don't think having Mike McCready made that song fantastic. I don't think Jeff Beck on 1,000 Shades made all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
Or Eric Clapton. They just seem like okay songs, but you're right. This one felt like a big cohesive interface. And kind of like Patient Number 9, I felt like was probably another one that felt like that too. So
yeah. And this was one of the cool things. Like, I didn't really even think about it till just a few minutes ago, but Trujillo was in Ozzy's band for at least an album cycle somewhere in there. So him and Zach, they've played together before. So it's kind of cool. See them back together, and they obviously sound fantastic. So
yeah. Next one, Nothing Feels Right. This is the second of 3 in a row by Mr. Wild.
Not much there. Not much for me on this one.
My biggest note was it's got a nice guitar solo.
Yeah.
But nothing else. I did like the line that my reflection is my favorite drug.
Yeah.
Look at
this is kind of a, starting the back half of the record, kind of a filler track.
It felt like, and I hate that you've got this much talent on a record and you have a couple of songs that feel like fillers. If I'm going to say anything negative about the record, it's probably that. And the next song, Evil Shuffle, kind of brought me back in. It's Zach Wild again. It's got a bit of a bluesy feel that I really dug.
It sounds like some evil blues.
Yes. And it's got this cool lyric groove that Ozzy just sort of fits right in. It's got a really nice breakdown. And in the middle there, it's not your typical brain-melting Wild solo. That doesn't come until the end when we have our nice tempo build up, and then he hits you with his typical solo.
Yeah.
But I thought the one in the middle was nice, and it was a difference that was maybe not what I expected, but it was really cool in the song.
Yeah, I'd agree with all that, and I would also add that Robert Trujillo's bass tone on this one is outstanding.
Yeah,
just really, really killer low end on that one.
Yeah, I love that. That was a good song. That brought us back. Next song, Degradation Rules. Not one for the kids per se.
I like this song a lot.
It is a good song, and this is the Red Tube Rules. Suggestion came from Taylor Hawkins, and that was when Ozzy was saying some really nice things about Hawkins after he had passed.
Yeah,
and it's got a nice touch, a little harmonica.
Mm-hmm.
It's another one. It's got a super cool groove. This one features Iommi as well.
Yep, super heavy tone on with Tony, and I don't remember if this one. I don't remember if this one's Trujillo or Duff or somebody else. There was another bass player, but I don't remember who it is. But the tone, the bass and the guitar, just killer heavy tone.
Yeah, Evil Shuffle and Degradation, the two together, really kind of made the back half for me.
Yeah,
so that was great. The next one, Dead and Gone, featured Chad Smith and Robert Trujillo. I was a bit let down on this one. just didn't hit me in the right spots.
Yeah, it's not mind-blowing. It's a solid jam, and obviously outstanding rhythm section there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just kind of solid tune, not outstanding.
And God Only Knows, second to the last song. This one is Taylor Hawkins,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just confused by the chorus. I couldn't dig my teeth into this one at all.
Yeah, they had an interesting effect on Taylor's snare sound that it's kind of cool. It's not something I don't think I'd want to hear all of the time, but it made it sound a little different. Ozzy's vocals on this song are pretty impressive. Like I don't know. He shows, I think, a lot of his range on this one, which, I mean, you think of Ozzy Osbourne, you don't necessarily think of range, but this is a really good song vocally for him, I think.
I think regardless if I like the song, I think he shined on about every song on the record. He's got a really cool way of, like, the melody and his lyric writing go really well together, and he just creates these really cool grooves with his voice, and he just sounds smooth. So, and nobody else sounds like him, that's for sure. Absolutely. And I thought he was outstanding across the whole record.
Yeah. This would also have been a good song to go out on, but then we end up with Dark Side Blues, which you said was recorded like 2 years ago.
It was written in 19 or recorded in 19, but came out in February, I think, of 2020.
Huh.
I know. And I didn't like this.
What?
I'd have to look it up again.
I have no idea. I've never heard it before, but it feels, I mean, knowing that after I heard it makes more sense, because it does feel like something that was just kind of tacked on. I don't know. It feels like a strange way to outro a record.
Agreed. Okay, hold on. I'm going to see if I can find this spot again.
I mean, it's just like a weird little thing that's less than 2 minutes long. I don't know.
It says it was recorded at Epic Records 2019, release date February 21st, 2020. Yeah, I don't know.
I've never heard it before.
Yeah, and I don't think it fit the record, so I'm not sure why it was there.
It would have been cool as like right in the middle, like maybe like you almost think about it as like sides of an album or sides of a cassette. Show my age. But like a way to maybe end the first side of the cassette, and then you flip it over and you get back into the jams.
But or you have to let the cassette run for 5 minutes and then it shows up. And if you didn't have the patience to wait, you didn't get to hear it.
Yeah, it's like a weird little tag on. That way would make more sense. Like it's that way, it's just kind of a little nugget of a reward for somebody that just, or like you fall asleep listening to it and then that comes in, you're like, whoa, what's happening? But yeah, it feels weird here, just tacked on the end.
So as an album closer, I give it a fail.
Yeah, right.
So, all right. Let's rate this record, and will we listen again? Out of 5, what do you give it?
I'd probably go 3.75. It doesn't quite hit a 4 for me. There's a lot I like here. There's several that kind of I could give or take. So I think that brings it down to a 3.75 for me.
Okay. I'm going to go 3.5 stars out of 5. Because I feel like some of the songs with the amazing talent were underwhelming, but there were some true highlights that I absolutely loved. Patient Number 9, fantastic. Really came around on Immortal. Loved Mr. Darkness. Loved Evil Shuffle and Degradation Rules. So there were enough highlights that really raises it up for me. And I will listen again, but I will listen 2 songs. I don't know that I'll just do the record like I would like to do.
Yeah, I would say he's done these last 2 albums now with Andrew Watt, and I feel like Andrew Watt has brought something to Ozzy. Maybe kind of gave him a new creative outlook on some things, maybe kicked it, which kicked Ozzy in the ass a little bit. I wouldn't hate it if he didn't do more with him. I would be okay with Ozzy finding somebody else and doing something different next time. But, whatever. He's going to do whatever he's going to do. Hopefully we get it next time.
Exactly. So. And if we do, we'll be reviewing that too.
Yeah.
Because you can't ignore Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
So anyway, still pleasantly, I shouldn't say surprised, but I'm pleased with it. And just, I guess I'm surprised in a way that he just continues to maintain that high level on every record at his age.
His vocals are just crazy good, man. He hasn't lost anything.
No. And so I don't even think you have to rate this record and look at it as, well, this is Ozzy at 72. It's just, it's Ozzy and it sounds great.
Absolutely.
So anyway,
I think I might actually do this. I might go listen to, just taking in his solo career as a whole. I might go listen to Blizzard of Oz and then listen to this and see if I can tell any difference in his voice whatsoever. Just listening to this, I don't feel the difference.
Here's the challenge for next week. We're going to do a little Ozzy deep dive.
Okay.
And we're going to, no, seriously, let's do this. Let's go back to his career. Let's look at vocal samples and lyrics and see how he's changed in the last 45 years. I guess we go back to all the way back into the early 70s if we really wanted, or whatever, 60s. But you just want to do solo only?
Yeah, because in Black Sabbath, it was really Geezer writing most of the lyrics.
Okay, so let's just start off then. That's cool. I think Tony can get behind that too if he joins us next week.
And there are some, Ozzy doesn't write all of his lyrics. He does write lyrics, but like just off the top of my head, there's several songs on No More Tears that Lemmy wrote the lyrics. Mm-hmm. So,
I guess we'll have to differentiate that, huh?
Yeah.
This challenge just got more intriguing.
You thought it was a simple challenge.
But... I did. I lose.
I have to ruin that for you.
No, that's all right. It'll be curious to see if we can notice any kind of differences from then, or if it's just basically a musical change that we're noticing more than anything.
I don't know. I don't think thematically he's really changed all that much. I think maybe around No More Tears, he might have got, I was going to say he might have gotten a little more sentimental, but he did some ballads and stuff before that, even in Black Sabbath, I guess. But
so it's hard to say he went more mainstream.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll figure it out. We'll chat about it. And I'm not sure what record we're doing next week. I haven't checked that out yet. I know 3 weeks is Slipknot, so I'll be excited about that. But until then, I don't know.
It's going to be horrible.
Yeah, it might be. We'll see. I'll be very harsh if it is, because I'll be so disappointed I won't be able to hide it. So you'll know it's going to be an honest one.
I started following Jay Weinberg on Facebook, and man, it's fun. He posts a lot of cool drum videos, just performance of a song, the drum cam and stuff. He's fun to watch.
And he's so good at art. Did you see his art show?
I did not. I saw he did one. I didn't see any of the stuff.
He posted it all over Twitter. I'll have to send you some stuff. But he had his own art installation and he had a big show. And the paintings are really big. They're fantastic. He's really talented. So I'm not sure if it was a studio or a museum or where it was, but I'll find it for you. Don't you worry.
All right.
Okay. So last musical point before we jump into the final issue of Sandman, which we don't have as much to talk about with it this week because
it's not the final issue of Sandman. It's the final issue of the Doll's House story.
Correct. And I guess you should say it's the final issue that represents the finale of the show, season 1 as well.
Sort of.
Pretty much.
Because the next issue is then the last episode of the part of the last episode.
I haven't read the next issue yet. How can there be more?
The next one's Calliope, which they did on the bonus episode.
Oh, yeah. And I haven't seen that yet, so.
And we haven't gotten to the cat issue yet either.
Yeah, I knew that, but okay. So here's my question for you, and this came up to me. So They did the Taylor Hawkins show a couple weeks ago, and Geddy and Alex got back together and they played some Rush songs.
Yep.
And had a stand-in drummer, right? And Dave Grohl did a fantastic job. And all the comments forever and ever, and still come out, they can't tour. They can't play Rush songs. They can't create anymore because it's not Rush. These are fans.
Do whatever they want.
They said they would never do that. Well, and I'm just thinking, this is Geddy and Alex. They're the ones that created the band. Neil wasn't there when they created it. Yeah. If they want to go on, they have every right in the world to go on. I mean, I don't understand this idea that, will it cheapen the idea of Rush? No, because all of the Neil Peart Rush stuff is still there. We all know how integral he was to that whole thing. But if they want to play, they're 70 years old. If they want to go out playing Rush stuff, they've earned it. Quit saying they can't do what they want to do. It drives me crazy. And then that brought up Pantera, which I was going to ask you about, because the two surviving members are planning to do a reunion.
Yeah.
Of sorts.
So, there's a lot to unpack there.
There is.
Fans seeing that and complaining and saying they can't do anything is ridiculous, because it's their band, it's their music. They can do whatever the hell they want. Whether you like it or not, that's a different story. They can do whatever they want.
They like to get on, like yell at people who even suggest that somebody would stand in and play drums for Neil. And it's like,
I mean, if you don't like it, don't go see it. That is the thing. Like, for me, and it's across the board. I mean, it's comics, music, movies, anything, series, TV series, fandoms are, I mean, it's
can be toxic.
It's gotten, unfortunately, a lot of it has gotten into being toxic, and just like everyone is so concerned about what they think these creators should do, or what they want to happen. Like that's how it has to be. Like, I mean, that's your opinion. Great. Nobody cares. Nobody cares what your opinion is.
And with Rush, everybody wants to say, well, they've said they're not going to do it. And I'm okay, that's great. If they don't want to do it, that's fine. But what if they got the bug?
Yeah.
They played those songs and like, man, we can still do this. We don't have 30 more years of playing this music, but we can still do it right now. What would stop them? I mean,
how many bands have said, this is our last tour, this is our last album?
We saw Ozzy's last year.
This is, last tour, last album. How many bands break up, change members, get back together, it's people change their minds. They're allowed to change their minds. They're not any different than anyone else. Just because they are your favorite thing in the whole wide world, they're still people, and they still are creatives, and if they put their instruments down and then 2 weeks later they're like, I need to pick that back up, they're going to do it, and more power to them. Like, I can't imagine playing an instrument and creating music and touring and doing everything that they have done for most of their lives, more of their lives than they have not at this point, and just put that down and walk away from it and not have any urge to do that whatsoever again. That seems insane to me.
Exactly. And let's say that they wanted to record an album and they had Danny Carey step in, because he's an amazing drummer. Tom Sawyer still sounds the same. Red Barchetta is not any different. Yes. It didn't change anything they've made.
That was another thing, that the whole that steps into the thing that I love, when idiot fans say, oh, they're ruining my childhood. Like, no, everything you loved when you were a kid is still fucking out there. Go watch it. Go listen to it. Shut up.
Right.
Like, if they want to make something new, it's going to be good or bad. You can watch it or not. You can hate it or love it. people, properties, especially companies that own these properties, if they want to try to do something and make more money off of it, they have every right to do that, whether you like it or not.
Well, how cool is it that a concept that I love as a child maybe change slightly and get an entire new group of people or kids or that come in and now love the same thing that you loved, but maybe they wouldn't have loved it the same way you did because it was the way back then. But now it's changed a little bit. And now they get to be part of this group. How cool is that?
Good example of that is the Thundercats. Mm-hmm. I love the Thundercats. I still love the Thundercats. It was one of my favorite shows when I was a kid. Absolutely love it. They made a new one. God, what was that? It's almost 10 years ago now, I think. Maybe 2012 or 2013. They made a new one. It was very, very different, but it was good. It was so good, but they canceled it right away. And then they made another one that was like Teen Titans Go style, and it was stupid horrible. It was, I absolutely hated it, but guess what? Who cares? I don't have to watch it ever.
That's right.
You know, like I can watch what I like, and it's still there. It still exists in the world. They didn't erase it to make this new one. Yep. I hate that argument.
I do too. It drives me crazy. And you're right. If they make it and I don't like it, I don't like it. It's fine. Somebody else can like it, and they're not an idiot because they do.
Yeah.
Anyway, but they are. How do you? So let's get back to the point, though. How do you feel about Phil and Rex?
It doesn't bother me. I would like them to figure out something to call it other than Pantera. This is Pantera. Like it's not Pantera. I mean, that's a situation where you're not just replacing one member.
Right.
You're replacing half the band. And it's
the founding members of the band.
Yes.
As well.
And yeah, like the heart and soul of that band. And like I said, Phil and Rex have every right to take whoever they want out and play Pantera songs. They can do that. They have every right to do that. If you don't like the idea, don't go see them. Don't give them your money. Absolutely. Don't do that. But there's going to be lots of people there. I would go see it because holy shit.
I was going to say, I'll go for sure.
Rex and Phil playing with Zakk Wylde and Charlie Benante. Are you kidding me?
I know. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I don't care what they call it. I would go watch that. So
yeah, but I like, yeah, you know, like, I don't know. They could call it like Rex and Phil's tribute to Pantera, or I don't know, some stupid name like that. But is it Pantera? Not really. But you know, it's their thing. They can do whatever they want with it, whether I like it or not.
I know, but to be honest, I would like to go see Alex and Geddy one more time. Sure. I don't care if they're playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Selfishly, I would, and I guarantee if before, and maybe they had the conversation, I don't know, but if they asked Neil, hey, would you give your support if we wanted to go on and play? You know, he would say, of course, because he was a great guy. He would not do that to two people that he loved and played with for that long.
How do you know they didn't have that conversation before he passed away?
Exactly. I bet in some way he gave them the go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, who's to say? But
yep.
Either way, I mean, that's also a cool situation where they could, I don't know what, you know, logistically this might be a nightmare, but they could, if they picked like 2, 3, 4 different drummers to take on tour with them and everybody plays a few songs, you know, that'd be cool. But if they're touring, this is the logistical nightmare. If they're touring, they could hook up with these other tours and see who's close to wherever they're going to be and, you know, have a special guest here and there or whatever. I'm sure that would be a nightmare for them. But yeah, I mean, take a few drummers out, let them, you know, play a few songs, switch out, play a few songs, you know, something, I don't know, do something fun with it.
No, this is our show, so I'm pushy. It has to be Danny Carey the whole time. Bring it on.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Charlie could come too. I don't care. He's good.
Sure.
And I would take Dave Grohl because he did a fantastic job in that little show. And he loves them. He would probably put aside the Foo Fighters to go do a
Yeah.
tour with them because he loves them so much.
Did you watch the show that he did, that Grohl did with his mom, with other artists and their moms?
I don't think so. What was it?
I'll have to find that and send it to you, because he did an episode. It's Grohl and his mom talking to, each episode is an artist and their mother, and they talk about what they did growing up, and the moms talk about like how it was, supporting them and doing this and that and troubles and everything. It's really, really cool. But they did an episode with Geddy and his mother.
I may have seen part of that. Just watching little different snippets of.
Yeah,
his mom's an interesting lady too. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was fun. And so basically Mundy and I love our groups, and whatever they want to do, we're for it. Okay, good. Because we're not loser fans who dictate what our favorite people should be doing.
Toxic fandom.
Damn it. But if they screw up Daredevil, I am going on a campaign. No, I'm just kidding.
I did see Charlie said something about it being a reboot. So I'm like, I don't know if we need that. But
no, it just, they're doing that storyline. Well, they've already done part of the storyline.
Yes. Yeah. The Born Again. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see what they do. I have confidence. The last parts were fantastic. He is amazing. The supporting cast is great. Now they can bring She-Hulk in and Madison, and we are set. So. All right. Are you ready to tackle? We're on issue number 16 of Sandman, which closes out the main part of the Netflix series.
We could say it even closes the door on the doll's house.
Boom.
Sorry.
That's all, folks. We're out. No, good issue. There was lots of cool stuff going on here. And it was fair. It was fairly close to the show. I mean,
yeah, really.
I dig that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like the landscape's a little different, but I love the art in this issue. I like all the close-ups on Dream, man. Dringenberg and Malcolm Jones III. It's so good.
Yep.
I love the scratchy ink work. Really, really cool stuff.
Yep. And I like Gilbert, the way he's done in this.
Mm-hmm.
He looks fantastic. And there's just lots of cool stuff in this one. And it starts off and basically does what they did in the show, explaining the vortex, having that conversation with Rose at the end that he's got a killer. And again, he's not a heartless person. He kind of
keeps apologizing.
Yes, exactly. He's got a job to do, and he's cold in that respect because there's nothing he can do. He has to kill her. But he is sort of apologetic, and he understands that he's taking someone's life. So kind of an interesting dynamic. Yeah,
really. And she kind of, at the very beginning, she's kind of trying to grasp the idea, and she's like, so this is a joke, right?
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, well, it's a dream. Sooner or later, I'm just going to wake up. So no big deal.
Nope. And eventually she says, I don't understand it, but I believe it.
Yeah.
And then we get some more conversation with the Fiddler's Green and Matthew as they walk. They even changed the dialogue box for him so you can tell he's squawking, which is kind of a nice little touch, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, some of this, it was pretty cool. Some of this was... a lot of it they used, but they kind of rearranged in the show. There's a lot of little touches. I'm like, oh, he said that in the show. Oh, he said that. But it was kind of mixed together a little more. Like some of the stuff that Gilbert is saying as he's coming back into the dreaming, he said as he's standing there in the show with Rose and Dream. So they changed, change the order.
I like that they use a lot of the dialogue. It's so well written anyway, and so intentional that it was perfect.
Yeah.
Why rewrite it?
Why change it?
And so it's cool that they used a lot of that.
I like the page where Dream is explaining the vortex to Rose. That is very cool. And he just kind of took a whole page to do that, and it's kind of dark and moody and pretty cool. and he's trying to explain himself to her, and because she said she didn't, she said, "Why me?" So then we get this page, and it's really like there is no answer for why her, but he kind of tells her what it is.
Yeah, and what is kind of cool is it's really a text-heavy page, but it's still rendered beautifully. There's a ton of artwork, and it's laid out really, really well. But it is text-heavy. A lot of times when you get text-heavy stuff, it's a lot of small boxes and mostly covered with the words. But this one's done really well.
I like how he kind of wraps it up, and it's almost like he's trying to justify it to her, but to himself as well.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "It happened once. A world was lost eons ago and half a universe away. I failed in my duty. A whole world perished. It will never happen again."
Right. Yeah, and then so she kind of like tries to appeal to this. Well, you're like a god, right? And no, I am not omnipotent.
Mm-hmm.
So there are even limits. It kind of goes throughout. There's a lot of little hints about him not being omnipotent or not being a god, or like he does have limits to what he can do.
Yeah, well, that comes up here when he's telling her that, and it comes up later when he's talking to Desire and kind of breaking down to her, like that her him,
yeah,
her him it. What in the thing they say it. I think now it would probably be a they them kind of thing, but
yeah.
But he's telling Desire, we are not their masters. If anything, they influence us.
Yeah, we are their playthings or something like that.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, that's a cool dynamic, I think.
Yeah.
So about that point, we get to the end, and then Gilbert finally makes it there in an attempt to save Rose, to basically give his own life in exchange for hers.
Right. And of course, that dream says that's not how this works.
Nope. Nice try, buddy.
Yeah.
Not an option. Which then, as that's not an option, we get the option on the next page. Flip over, and then there's old Unity going to sleep, which is perfect timing to go into the dream world, right?
Yep. Which I thought they changed that up a little bit here too. Well, we're not quite there yet. So she goes to sleep, and then I'll save what I was going to say. But so then it's still just kind of, then her and Gilbert are saying their goodbyes, and I like Matthew. He's like, death isn't that bad. You get used to it. I did.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he even says something to Rose at one point about, well, you could come back. I mean, do something like this, but I don't know that she's down with that, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then
so her and Gilbert say goodbye, and then poof, he's gone, and Fiddler's Green comes back.
The place, yeah, and that was very much like the show.
Yeah,
and how that happened. And again, the casting in the show was so good. You can't look at him there on the page and not think of that casting.
Yep. This is reading this. I'm definitely. It's one of those things where, like, as soon as Kevin Conroy was Batman, like that's all I hear when I read Batman. Like this is the same things happening here. Like that Gilbert is 100% Stephen Fry. So.
Yep. Oh yeah. All right. So, sorry, Rose, there's nothing personal about this. We all have responsibilities.
Mm-hmm. And I like how she starts getting defiant. She's like, just stop apologizing and do it already.
Yeah, for Christ's sakes, just do it. Yeah. Which, he's getting ready to kill her, and then Badoom, stop. And here
this is what I was going to say. Unity comes in. They did not do this in the show. But she comes back as a younger self, which I think is weird here because this Unity, I don't know if she's supposed to be her age when she fell asleep originally, but it seems like she's older than that here. But how would she know herself at this age?
I took this as this is how she sees herself in the dream, since she's dreaming her own dream and she's a child that would be the vortex.
Yeah.
You're right, though. She's not the same age she would be when she went to sleep.
Yeah, she never knew herself at what this age seems to be.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but yeah, it's a dream. Anything can happen.
That's what we're going with, right?
Convenient.
But she shows up and she pitches her idea, and he's like, Rose is the vortex. And she's like, but I should have been.
Yes.
But he was imprisoned for all of that time.
Yeah. And this is straight from the page to the book. She takes the heart, Rose's quote unquote heart, like, so that she can then become the vortex. And so now I am the vortex, take me and let Rose live. So that was.
And that panel with the heart is almost the exact panel from the Nada story.
Mm-hmm.
Because they do, like when they're telling the story, you remember?
Yeah.
And that whole thing, there's that exact thing of handing that heart off.
Yes.
I don't know if that's an intentional connection.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
We'll see later, but anyway, so she takes on her spot as the vortex so she can be killed and do away with all of this vortex nonsense.
And this page that has the 6 panels of kind of Miranda by Unity's bedside, I feel like it's a little confusing. It almost feels like it's out of order to me, because it looks like Unity is like, sitting up real fast in bed, and then she looks like her face looks like she's kind of dying, and then she's laying there.
Is that her spirit?
I don't know what is going on here, but then the next panel is I don't know.
It's the left, the 4th panel that is confusing to me, because it looks like in the other one, that's her spirit, like giving up the spirit, and then she reaches over and she closes her eyes, and then she's crying. But what is the screaming face?
I don't know. I don't know if that's supposed to be. I don't feel like that's supposed to be Miranda, because she's just sitting there calmly.
Oh no, because Miranda's hair is pulled back, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's
weird. Confusing. I think so too.
Yeah. I stumbled on that one.
We're just not smart enough, Mundy.
I guess.
I'm gonna send Neil a letter.
Yeah. Well, we'll send him an email and ask him.
Stay tuned. Next show, find out what in the heck that panel is all about. So then she has died. She has sacrificed herself, and then Rose says, "I don't understand." Oh, go ahead.
She's still in the dreaming.
Yeah. Oh, you talking about Rose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
she's like
Unity. Unity is still in the dreaming. She said, "What happened? You died."
Oh yeah, you died. Let me help you out. And then Rose asks if he's going to kill her. No need.
Yeah.
Vortex is gone.
Yeah, I like that. It's almost like it. Nah, we're good.
All good now.
Little dismissive.
Well, then he just sends her off. Goodbye, Rose Walker.
Yep.
Blink. She's gone. And then she woke up.
And she did not seem happy about it.
No. But now it's all a dream to her.
Yep.
Like 6 it's almost as later. If it did not happen. She just had this crazy dream. Yeah,
which I don't know. All of this from, this is obviously, it looks like it's typewritten. So we're seeing Rose's journal, I guess, diary, whatever she calls it.
Yeah.
And it's 6 months later, and she has apparently just been kind of a depressed mess and just kind of mostly stayed in her room for the last 6 months. So we find her starting to come out of that.
Yep. She says 6 months ago, I had a really weird dream. That was the night that Unity died and Jed got better.
Mm-hmm.
And so now she's ready to actually do something with her life, move on.
Yeah. So we see her cutting and dyeing her hair, and there's a lot of narration here from Rose.
Yeah, just catching up on Hal and Ken and Barbie, the Spider, everybody that was in the house. You kind of get a little update on all of them.
And she touches on the diner scene. And because one of the people in the diner was her friend, one of the people that died was her friend.
Yep.
So that had broken up with her girlfriend and was all depressed and stuff, and had called her just before that. And then, so she was one of the 6 people that died in the diner. So
that's kind of a diner death riddle.
Yeah, kind of an interesting It's one of those Neil Gaiman tying everything together kind of things.
Yeah, it's all seamless. So, that's kind of her story. Then, shall we get to Desire?
I mean, Rose it shows her. There's just a lot of narration. I mean, it's basically her just coming out of it. She dyes her hair. She's getting dressed, putting makeup on, and she kind of goes downstairs. And her mom and her brother are there, and they're like, "Oh, hi, hi, stranger." And Jed's like, "I found a fox's den in the woods. You want to see it?" She's like, "I would love that." So then she's back in the world, and everybody lived happily ever after. Except for Dream.
Yes.
Because then we see him sitting on his throne and moping.
He's a moper.
Pretty much.
He's emo.
Yeah. He walks into the sigil room and picks up Desire's sigil. And...
Oh, I wanted to... Is it back here? When you talk about emo or whatever.
Yeah.
So this one... What in the heck? I'll have to find this again. I will continue on. There's something I wanted to bring up. Maybe it was...
Okay. Well, so Dream walks into the sigil room, picks up Desire's sigil, and calls to her, and they start talking, and he enters her whatever realm, whatever you want to call it, her chambers. I keep saying her. I don't know.
I know.
Because they're drawing in this one. Most of the drawings look like a her, so that's what's throwing me off. But
gotcha. It really does look female, and she looks like a cat.
Yes, like a cat costume on or something.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Catwoman from a low-budget Batman movie.
Yeah. So then, oh my gosh, no! It's what's her name? The Sean from Blade Runner. Sean, what's her name? I can't remember. She's like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. She went on Letterman or something dressed as Catwoman because she wanted to play Catwoman, and it was insane. Wow. She's like, yeah, she's nuts. But cool. Anyway, that's what it kind of looks like. But so this is where we have the conversation that was in the show. Dream is like, I know you were meddling in my affairs and you were the cause of all of this. And I like that. Are you accusing me of interfering in another member of the family's domain? He said, obviously that's exactly what I'm doing.
I'm accusing you of more than that.
Yeah. So he accuses, he tells Desire that he knows that Desire was the one that fathered Unity's child and all of that. So which caused Rose to be the vortex, but also, if Dream would have killed Rose, that's the Endless are not allowed to spill the blood of their right. blood and all of that, which obviously Desire was trying to make happen. So, and Dream was, like, do you have any idea what would have happened? And he threatens Desire, basically. Mess with me or mine again, and I will forget that you are family, Desire. So,
yeah. Oh, here's the other line was, we do not manipulate them. If anything, they manipulate us. We are their toys, their dolls.
Yeah,
if you will.
Yeah.
So everybody's in the dollhouse, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. And he's laying that out, and Desire's like, I don't get it. I don't understand. And he's like, his line, I am afraid that you don't.
Yeah.
So, and it's kind of cool. Like, he's telling Desire all this stuff and threatening Desire and, remember that sibling and blah, blah, just remember. And then the narration, it's like as soon as Dream is gone, Desire just totally forgets all of that and doesn't care.
Yep. Poor Dream. I really got under his skin this time.
Yeah.
And she smiles and forgets, for Desire is a creature of the moment. Yeah. Which makes the character even more interesting.
Yeah.
So,
and that's it. That is the Doll's House.
Indeed. Oh, here's what I found. This is a note according to the script. So when Rose is waking up and she's all, upset and moody, it says she had been listening to Iggy Pop's The Idiot and Lust for Life, the Cowboy Junkies, the Trinity session, and Lou Reed's Berlin.
Huh.
Which tells us she's depressed.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it.
It's just interesting that has no bearing. Like, you can tell she's sad and all that in the text, but he had to put in the notes, this is what she'd been listening to.
Probably could have thrown in some Cure.
Some Smiths.
Susie and the Banshees, whatever.
Yeah, so that's fantastic. So that kind of brings to end a big one. And then I'm kind of excited about the next one now. I'm going to read it and then watch. I'm going to do it in reverse order on this one.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And then we can talk about that one next time.
Yeah, definitely made some changes. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. So next week will be Sandman issue 17. Deep dive and figure out what in the heck's going on with Ozzy over the past 40 years. And some record. Sound good?
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
If we can't find a record, we'll find a bunch of singles or something. We've done that before.
Yeah, we'll do something.
We'll figure it out.
So, all right, Mr. Mundy. Where can we find you? On
Instagram, Metalhead Mundy.
Yes, Metalhead Mundy on Instagram. He puts really cool stuff on there, better than Joe Rife. He used to put pictures of his couch and stuff. I don't put anything as cool as Joe Rife on anything of mine, but you can find me on Instagram or Twitter at Foggy's Pal. And if you want to find the show, you can find Wanderings and Wool Gathering on YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, Stitcher, CastBox, and SoundCloud. And feel free to just send money our way because we would love it.
And if you are listening, if you are listening, subscribe, follow, rate, review, all that stuff. Talk to us.
Send money. And
we'll talk back.
Yes, we will talk back to you. We'd like more people to tell us we're full of crap. So
we don't have so many fans that we can't respond to anyone. We're a long, long way from that. So.
No. We have so many, but I'm a very fast typer.
There you go.
So I can keep up. Believe me. I'll just shut up for a few minutes and just answer questions. I'll do it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, next week will be episode 125. It will have the return of Teabags. So that is very exciting. And probably talk about some lyrics as well. So please tune in next Sunday night, 7 o'clock, for another episode of Wanderings and Wool Gathering. And until then, we will see you on our socials. Bye now.